Welcome back to the game store. How can I help you today? Game Boys? Yeah, which one are you looking for? Yeah, I think we have some of those. Are you looking for any games too? Okay. Yeah, let me just double check. But I think we do have what you're looking for. Alright, so Game Boy Color. Perfect. Yeah, it looks like we do have the green, the lime green. And we do have the other ones you're looking for. So let me go grab everything and I will be right back. Sound good? Perfect. I'll see you in a few minutes. And just wanted to start off saying everything is not in perfect condition. Some of these items, actually all of these items are used, traded in from different sellers. So obviously I can give you a deal if you were to purchase multiple items and multiple games. Okay? And before we start, are you familiar with all of the Game Boys? Okay. So I'll just give you a few reminders as we go through. So why don't we start off with the Game Boys and then we'll go to the games. First up, we have the first Game Boy. And this Game Boy came out in 1989. So it is quite old at this point. But this one is actually in really good condition. So I'm just giving a quick dust before I show it to you. And you're just trying to collect Game Boys. Nice. Okay. So here is the front. And all of the buttons work. You can see it's nice and clean, so no yellowing. It's just in really nice condition. So if your on-off button up here, I don't have batteries in this right now, but they do go in here. It does take 4 batteries, so you want to make sure you have those on hand. And what else can I say about this? There's no backlight, of course. This was the first Game Boy. Definitely made people fall in love with gaming, that's for sure. I mean, how cool was it to be able to have a game literally on the go with you? So on the side you can adjust the contrast, and then you have the volume button, and then you can insert headphones down here. And now I want to show you something that is pretty interesting. So this is a light boy. So you insert 2 batteries back here, and it gives you kind of this magnifying lens and a light for your Game Boy. This does look extremely clunky in today's world, but back in the day it was cool. I will say this is pretty heavy, but again, a classic and extremely nostalgic. So do you think you'd be interested in this? Awesome. Alright, let me set it aside. And next up is a smaller Game Boy. And this is really not in a great condition, I will start off by saying that. But it is a Game Boy Pocket. And now this was released several years after the original Game Boy in 1996. And what's nice about this one is you don't need 4 batteries, only 2. And it's just so much lighter and smaller, of course. and just easier to hold when you're playing a game. And yeah, this one is pretty beat up on the back. The person who owned it did not take care of it. So I can give this to you at a pretty big discount, for sure. But all the buttons are working, and it is in working condition, despite what it looks like. And then we don't have a Game Boy Light, but I know you said you were interested in that as well. I think that one came out in, 1998? Yeah. And that was only sold in Japan. We don't see them a lot in the shop often, but if we do get one, I can definitely contact you. But next up are the Game Boy Colors. Came out in 1998 as well. So I know you were looking for a lime green one, so I brought that. Then I also brought this purple one, which is not in good condition. This actually belonged to my sister. I traded this into the store myself. As you can see, she did not take care of it, but it is still in working condition. All the buttons work. Missing the back battery cover. There's some tape on the side. And it's definitely beat up. I could probably restore it a little bit for you if you are interested. And I can replace the back battery cover. I just haven't done that yet. And the screen also has scratches. Now we can also replace screens if you're really interested. But I know you said you'd like a lime green one anyway, so I'll show you that one next. Yeah, there's so many scratches on this. Really don't know what she did. Now this one, on the other hand, is in beautiful condition. And this one was actually mine when I was a kid. And yeah, I am looking to sell it. There's no reason to keep it anymore. But I definitely tried to keep it in perfect condition. I actually remember receiving this Christmas of 1998. Definitely one of the most exciting Christmases of my life. So, everything is beautiful on this Game Boy, in working condition. Screen's a little bit dusty, so let me just dust it. And just a reminder, what was so amazing about this? The screen had color. So no more black and white games, which was so amazing. And this did not have a backlit screen, but you could use the little swirly lights. I don't know what they're called, but you could plug it into the side and get some light that way. Actually, I have one I can show you in a moment. So what do you think? Interested in this? Perfect. Put this one aside then. Alright, so next up is the Game Boy Advance. It came out in 2001, and this one is in really good condition as well. So all the buttons are working, and I love the see-through purplish color. Shade the back. So everything looks really nice, really clean. And I really like the landscape orientation of this Game Boy. Thought it was really cool when it came out. And this is going to be a lot more more powerful than the Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Color. So keep that in mind. And what else can I say? So this actually comes with the light I was talking about. Let me actually demonstrate it for you. Just gonna pop in some batteries. It's always good not to leave batteries in the Game Boy when you're not actively using them. Let's see. Just grab this Pokemon game since it's right here. Okay. So, here is the light I was talking about. And this one is specifically for the Game Boy Advance. So you can just plug it in right here. And there you go. You now have a nice light for your screen. So I know it's really hard to see, but there is the screen right there. You can see Pokemon Fire Red is starting up. And obviously if it was dark in here, you would be able to play the game with this handy light. So that's really cool to have. So we have a nice carrying case. It's the Game Boy Advance logo up here. The Game Boy actually just fits right in this bottom pocket. Just like that. And then this opens up. And in here we have, I think it's a Game Link cord. And this was just to trade things with friends, compete against each other in certain games. So that's up there. And then you have a zipper pocket, and then another pocket back here, which is actually where I'm just going to put the light. So you can keep games in here, of course. There are some slots up top, and it's really nice for on the go. Are you thinking you like this? Yeah, I knew you would. So I will put this in the yes pile. Now the last Game Boy to show you is my favorite, and that is the Game Boy SP. So this came out in 2003, and it's a different type of design. I think it's called a clamshell design. So it folds just like an old phone. And one of the best parts, there are no batteries. So you can just charge this, which was so amazing. And then of course, the other big thing about this is there is finally a backlight. So you don't have to worry about using that little plug-in light. So let me just put in a game here to show you. Might be a little hard to see. But the screen is bright, and you do not have to worry about squinting at all. And of course the graphics are even better on this as well, so it's really nice. And this is very clean. All the buttons work. And this is the button actually to turn the backlight on and off. So again, yeah, this one's my favorite. So Game Boy Advance SP. And now, what are we missing from this? We also don't have a Game Boy Micro. So the Game Boy Micro is really teeny tiny, small screen. And I think that one came out in 2005. And again, we don't have that one here, but you can always call us. We do get them sometimes. testing this one as well. It's been on our shelf for a few weeks. And now accessories wise, we do have a few things. So these are sort of a classic Game Boy Color cases that came out in the 90s, so just wanted to show you in case you're interested. I'll give you these for just a few dollars. So the Game Boy fits nicely in here. Fits in there. Then you can keep your favorite games here. Okay, so if you're interested, and we have a green and purple as well. Okay, so now let's look at some games. So we have a Donkey Kong, which is just the classic Donkey Kong game that was on the NES. And this is for the Game Boy Advance. So all of these come with the game, of course. So there's the game. And then I think these all have manuals. Let's see. Yes, we have a manual, health and safety, an ad for the Game Boy player for GameCube, something for registering online, and then just an ad for Donkey Kong plus 2 other classic games. So this is pretty cool to have, especially if you're a Donkey Kong fan. I love Donkey Kong, but I will say I'm definitely not good at the games. So here's the back again. And then Pac-Man, which again, the game is in here, as well as a manual. So another classic game that you can play on the Game Boy Advance. And then one of my favorites, Super Mario Advance. So this again has, let's see, Super Mario Brothers 2 and Mario Brothers. Oh yeah, and it even says on the back, multiplayer games require a Game Link cable sold separately. So that's that cord that I was talking to you about that comes with the Game Boy Advance. Okay, so let's just open this up. And are you a fan of classic Mario games? I know, who isn't? Here's the game, still in the packaging. Then we have the instruction booklet, which has so many pages. I'm always so surprised at how detailed these were. They really showed you how to play the game, how to battle, tips. I just think that's so cool because it's really not like that anymore for new games. It even showed you what buttons are on a Game Boy Advance. It's pretty cool. And then similar things as before. Yeah, if you ever play GameCube, this is actually really cool to have the Game Boy player because you can play Game Boy games on your TV. I used to use that a lot. And then this is a subscribe to a Nintendo Power and receive a free gift. I love Nintendo Power. So what did they give you? Some headphones, around the ear headphones. And then if you really want a classic Mario game to play on the Game Boy Advance, we also have Super Mario Brothers, which is the NES classic. So all of these are not too expensive. Again, I can give you a deal if you're interested. So now some other games. I just pulled a random bunch of Game Boy Advance games just to see if you're interested in any of them. This is not all of the games we have, but I just, again, thought maybe you would like these. So just let me know if you are interested when I tell you the title. Okay, so Super Mario 3. Mario Kart Super Circuit. Yoshi's Island. Super Mario Advance. Backyard Sports. The Fairly Odd Parents. The Lord of the Rings. The Return of the King. Splinter Cell. Metroid Zero Mission. Donkey Kong Country. SSX Tricky. Wario Land 4. And the Wild Thornberrys movie. I remember that show. So what are you thinking? Any of these seem interesting? All of them? Perfect. And like I said, we do have a bin right over there if you want to search through. Grab a few more. And actually, I did forget to mention this one as well. Super Mario World. And then I did pull a few regular Game Boy games. So Pokemon Pinball is one of them, but it is missing the battery cover. And then I know you're a Pokemon fan, so I grabbed Blue. And these are all in working condition. Red, my personal favorite. Yellow, which has definitely seen better days. So I'll give you a big discount on this if you want it. Soda, Link's Awakening. And then I realized I forgot to include another great game, which is Fire Red. So that's for Game Boy Advance. You definitely want to pick this one up. And we do have some more Game Boy games in the bin over there, so you can feel free to check them out. So would you like to purchase anything? Okay, so all of the Game Boy Advance games And then you want the case and the Game Boy Advance, of course. Okay. And then the original. Okay. So the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Advance, and then what about the lime green? You want that too, in the Pokemon case. And do you also want the light as well for this? Okay, so yeah, I'll grab that for you too. Alright, so I'm going to have this all boxed up for you. And like I said, I will be giving you a deal. So, and none of these, right? Okay. So I'll be giving you a deal. Let's see. So all of those items for $200. Yes, that is a very big discount, especially with all of those items priced out individually. And did you want the Pokemon games? Okay, yeah, so then that really is a good price, I must say. Definitely better than competitor stores. Perfect. Well, I'm glad you found some things that you like, and I hope you enjoyed hearing more about the Game Boys. We do have some Nintendo DS's as well, so if you want to come back in, I can show you all of those and all of the games we have. Well, thanks again for coming in. Hope you enjoyed your time here, and I hope to see you again soon.